From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No, I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. A listener writes in and says, "What's up, Tom? A few weeks ago, I met this really hot chick at a restaurant. The next night, we went out to dinner. We had a drink or two at dinner and followed it up with a trip to the liquor store for some more alcohol. Next, we went to Blockbuster and headed back to her place with the booze and a movie. I sat through the movie and threw back shots of Hennessy. She drank also, but she suddenly didn't want to get wasted, so I did most of the drinking. We started messing around, and of course, we end up in her bedroom. She sleeps only in her thong. All I have on is my boxers. Now I'm thinking it's a done deal, but of course, here comes the curveball. After this, she gives me the middle school routine. Everything above the waist is okay, but when I go over that thong, here she goes with grabbing my hand and saying, 'Stop!' After a while, I say, 'To hell with it. Go to sleep.' A few nights later, she invites me over again. I don't stay long because I had to work the next day, and I didn't want to go through this BS again. Anyway, I don't try anything, and I go on my way. I see her again Sunday. I take her to McDonald's. We get a scary movie. Go back to her place. I watch the lousy movie. We end up back in her bedroom. She wants a massage. She breaks out the lotion. I massage her near-naked body from head to toe. She is enjoying it. I go for the panties, and I get the same routine. Then she gives me this story about not wanting to have sex for a while. What the hell is up with this, Tom? Good question. What the hell is up with this? We've all been there. We've been with women. I imagine this goes right up to Mike Tyson. We've all been with women who show up at our place, and we show up at their place, and people get naked, and we start rubbing and massaging and feeling and groping and whatever. And then when it comes to closing the deal, they go, No. Don't touch. Don't do that. No. Now, it's one thing if somebody doesn't want to get naked. They don't want to go to the bedroom. They don't want to broach that subject. They just want to give you a little peck on the cheek. Good night. Fine. But, first of all, I would not put up with this kind of behavior. That would happen to me one time. Once. It would not happen 2, 3, 4 times as happened to our letter writer. Once somebody plays that game where they get me into bed with them and I'm rubbing them with lotion or I'm drinking with them and there's nothing on but a thong and then I try to reach in there and they go, no, that's it. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what baggage you have. Look, if you're not attracted to me, don't take me into your bedroom. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Do us both a favor. This is nothing but the worst kind of attention whoring, in my opinion. Now, I think the guys want to know. I think we want to know, ladies, why you do this. We want to understand, not why other people do it, why you have done it, okay? Why would you bring a man into your bed? Why would you take your top off? Take your pants off. Maybe even take everything off. And then when he goes to reach for that Bermuda Triangle, suddenly it's no. I don't want to hear why your girlfriend did it, why your mother did it, why your daughter did it. I don't want to hear why your next-door neighbor did it. I want to hear why you have done it. All right, so I'm only going to talk to women this hour, and I want to find out why you've done this. Maybe you only did it one time. Maybe you used to do it all the time, and now you don't do it anymore. Maybe you still do it. Maybe you are militant about your right to do it. By the way, it would be wrong. It is illegal, and people who do this should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But you are asking to be raped. You're asking for it. Because one day, one of those guys that you bring into your bedroom is not going to take no for an answer. It's going to happen. You know what? If you really don't want to have sex with someone, I don't think you should bring them into your bedroom. I don't think they should be sleeping in the bed with you. I don't think you should be taking your top off. No clothes should be coming off. I mean, in reality, if you don't want to have sex with somebody, they should not see any naked skin, no body parts. You shouldn't be yanking their crank. I mean, if you don't want to have sex with somebody, have a cup of coffee and then kick them out. Or if you think that they'll try to overpower you, don't even invite them in. I understand why you do it. So, ladies, that's what I want to find out from you. I want to find out why you would have a guy there and to get them all up into a frenzy and get them into your bed and then go, Why would you do that?
1-800-5800-TOM.
The more money you make, the more power you have. The more power you have, the more money you have. The more money you have, the more power you have. The more money and power you have, the more poon you can consume.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. All right. Jamie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Jamie.
How are you?
Do you care?
I love you, Tom. I do care.
I'm doing great.
Listen, I'll tell you why I do it. It's like an investment in their trust. If they say that they just want to give you a back rub, you have to trust them, and that's all they want to. That's all they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if they follow through with that, then maybe the time after that you might give it up to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair enough, don't you think?
No.
Why?
Because it's a tease. It's a big tease.
But no, if they say, listen, I just want to give you a back rub, that's all I want to do. Then
come on, you know that's a come on. You know that's not meant to be taken literally. You know that. If you don't want to have sex with a guy and a guy says, let me give you a back rub, say no.
But I want a back rub.
No, you're cheap. Go to get a massage if you need a back rub.
But it's free. This is free.
Oh, women, cheapest creatures on earth. Aren't you worried that one day a guy is going to Mike Tyson you? Aren't you worried about that? You tease a guy like this, and one day you're going to say no, and the guy's going to say, what, are you kidding me? You got me this far.
No, because what if they don't have their clothes off? Then they're not far. They've gone nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're doing it naked, that's a whole other story. But if they're clothed and all you have is...
Why don't you wait till you're ready to have sex with them to get a massage?
Because I'm taking them at their word that that's all they want to do. That they just kind of want to...
But so you're just acting stupid. Is that it?
But doesn't it give them they get to have a quick peek at what
they don't want a quick peek. We don't want a quick peek. I'm speaking on behalf of all of us. We don't want a quick peek. We want a good long look from the inside.
Then why do they offer it?
Because they know. Because a man can't just say to most women, I just want to F you right now.
Why not?
Because most women would go, ew, what a creep you are, ew.
What if we say, okay, you can give me a back rub, but no fooling around?
But no, it doesn't matter.
And they still do it, then what?
Because we believe if you're letting us do it, that in reality, you're being polite about it.
You guys are filling in the blanks then, because if we say...
Because we believe that you don't, we believe we can't speak frankly with you about sex. See, I encourage guys to say, I want to do you, or I don't really give a rat's ass about you, I just want to do you. I tell guys to say that. But you know what? Most men don't, and most women also, when they want to get laid, don't say it, or when they don't, are not specific about it. And in many cases, women know that we're trying to get sex, but they pretend like they don't know, like you do.
Well, then we're supposed to hear that thing that they want. This is just a prelude to sex.
Let me give you a back rub means I want sex tonight. That's what it means. That's what it means. We are not in the... You know what? It's like us saying, you know what? Giving someone a back rub is a big pain in the ass. It's a big pain in the ass, and there's nothing in it for the person giving the back rub. Because there's nothing in it for us. How about I clean your kitchen pans and pots as well? How about I wash your windows? You know what?
There's nothing in it for us to give oral gratification either.
Who's asking for oral gratification? We want to stick it in.
I'm just making a similarity. I'm making a...
All right, but the point is we just want to stick it in. And you know what? When you say, oh, sure, give me a back rub, believe me, don't act like you're stupid. That specifically means we want to penetrate you. That is what that means. And you're playing with fire. You are playing with fire to tell a guy to give you a back rub when you have no intention of having sex with him.
What if you tell him up front, though? I'm not going to have sex
Again,
with you, but you can rub my back.
By telling a guy he can give you a back rub, he thinks he's got a shot.
Even if we say, but you're not.
Yes, stop being cute about this. If you don't want to have sex with a guy, tell him no.
Okay, no sex, just the back.
No, tell him no back rubs. I'm not interested in you physically. I'm not having sex with you, and it wouldn't be fair to tell you to get a back rub because that's what you're going to want. And the guy will say, oh, no, that's not what I want. But he does want that, so just say no. You want a back rub, spend $20 and go to the mall and get a back rub.
But that's with a stranger. What if you know this guy?
Please, if you know him that well, have sex with him. Stop using this as an excuse. You're not getting anywhere. This is a game you play. You love to see how far you can push a guy. You love to, you know what? It's like the little kid who likes to take a hamburger and put it next to the fence where a dog is, and the dog is woo, woo, woo. Kids love doing that. They love holding their candy in there, making the dog bark. They love doing that, and that's what you're doing.
Well, I never pictured it that way.
That's what it is. Now, do you really think men like giving you back rubs? Be honest with me.
No, because I don't like giving them either.
Do you know, you remember what your thumbs felt like the last time you gave somebody a back rub?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think anybody does that for fun?
No, perhaps.
No, we don't. So now what you're doing is you are pretending to be stupid in order to get something for free. Like most women do when they go to the auto repair place, and they go to a fashion show. They're like, oh, you know, I love these clothes, but I can't afford them, Mr. Designer. And then they hope they're going to get something for free. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm just wanting a back rub, that's all. But
you know what?
Into a mindset.
You're a 40-year-old woman. Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
Go to the mall. There are people giving massages at the mall or at airport terminals. Go
what
there.
If I might consider having sex with this person later? Maybe
then again, he'll give you a back rub at that time.
All right, Tom.
Ugh, God, I hate this mentality. I hate it. Janine on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So I have a comment. You're saying that girls pretend to be stupid to get something for free.
Right.
Well, what are guys doing by giving your ATM receipt to girls with their numbers?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We're being deceitful.
So what's wrong with girls being?
Well, here's what I'm trying to tell you. You are playing with fire. Because one day you're going to get Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, it's going to happen to you one day. You keep getting into bed naked with guys, or almost naked, and then they're going, And did you hear the show he did on date rape?
Yes.
Did you hear the guys calling in going, I told her, you took me this far, I'm not going to stop now. One day, you are going to end up with a guy like that.
Well, any girl that is...
And then you're going to call 911, and of course, he would have done something illegal, and if he does something illegal, he deserves to be punished. But why let yourself get into that position in the first place?
Any girl who allows themselves to end up alone with one of those guys that called up is like...
Dear, you never know. You know what? Unless you're dating everybody that's been recommended by your mother, and even then, you don't know what you're getting into bed with.
No, but those guys sounded like...
The guy who gives you you don't know what a rapist sounds like. And I'm going to tell you something. You know what? Obviously, when you're on a first date, or when you're on a date with somebody who you only want to give you a back rub, clearly, you don't know much about it.
Well, you don't do that on a first date with somebody.
Second date, third date, doesn't matter. You know what? A man, when he is with you and giving you a back rub, is just doing that because he's trying to soft sell the idea of having sex with you. Now, what do? Pretend to be stupid? Or do you really not know that man wants sex at that moment?
Yeah, well, some girls use that to their...
Not some girls. We're talking about you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
So you pretend to be stupid because what? Because you want a free back rub without having to pay for it? Is that it?
I don't know. Sometimes it's a little more than that. You know, it's just like, you know, make up stuff or use whatever they've got.
I want to know why you do it. I know why guys give you a fake ATM receipts, because they want to get laid. Why do you let a guy give you a back rub knowing you don't want to have sex with him?
I don't know. I mean, just because you want a back rub or because...
Well, why can't you just go get one?
Because it's nicer to get one from someone that you know and someone you know.
But you don't. Obviously, you don't know them that well, or you'd have sex with them.
Just to know somebody well, you're going to have sex with them?
Well, put it this way. Why do you think a man is on a date with you? Are you that stupid?
Are these all dates, or are these just, you know, you didn't...
Dear, anytime a man says, I want to give you a back rub, he doesn't have the balls to close the deal. Do you not know that?
Sometimes, maybe.
Not sometimes, maybe, dear. 100% of the time. I rarely say 100% of anything. But in that case, that's exactly what's going on. Any man who offers to give you a back rub, if you spread your legs and say, here, stick it in, he will. Done. Now, are you trying to tell me there are exceptions to this rule, or that you don't agree with that?
I think it's a case-by-case situation.
No, it isn't.
I think so.
No, who is let's call him right now. Who's the last guy who wanted to give you a back rub who didn't want anything more than a back rub? We'll call him right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, because you know damn well I'm right. No man wants to just give you a back rub. Giving you a back rub is like washing your car for you. It's a big pain in the ass. It's a lot of work with nothing in it for us. Believe me, when someone offers to do that, it's because they want something more. And you're going to tell me you don't know that? You're a big girl. You're going to tell me you don't know that?
Maybe sometimes.
Not maybe sometimes, dear. Do your gay friends offer to give you a back rub?
Yeah.
Really? You've had gay men give you a back rub. All right, let's call them. You had a gay man give you a back rub.
Well, they're not as good as straight guy massages.
Uh-huh. That's because straight guys want to diddle you. That's why guys are massaging you. Now, you know, you're laughing over there because you know this is true. And yet you like to hold out hope that, oh, sometimes it's not true, or most of the time it's not true. But you know what? You're in denial. 100% of the men who give you back rubs want sex.
I'm not saying that's not true some of the time.
Not some of the time. Dear, it's not some of the time.
What's wrong with knowing that and knowing that, you know, you're in control of whether or not they'll get it and not giving it to them?
Why don't you just tell them, I don't want a back rub, because you're going to, I know it means you want more. And then go...
Why bother saying that if you're just saying that, even if you say that, it doesn't matter?
How about you just say no?
No for the back rub?
No for the back rub.
I don't know.
That way you don't get Mike Tyson. Go ahead and laugh at me, dear. We did the show on date rape, and you heard what those callers were like, and you heard what their mentality is. And if you keep playing this game, one day you are going to be a victim.
I wouldn't do that with somebody that I didn't know. Yeah,
you don't know what someone's going to be like until you take your top off and let him start putting his hands on your back. You have no idea. That's sometimes the time you find out what a guy is all about.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis, only on Hot Talk 1080
K100 Talk. In on the Tom Leykis Show, isn't it?
Hello?
You busy over there?
Hello?
Are you busy?
I'm not. How are you doing?
Hello?
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 Hi, this is Jenny Garth.
Hello?
Who's that in the background?
Hello?
Wake up and smell the coffee, sister!
Who is that in the background there, Lynn?
My boyfriend.
Tell him to shut up.
Okay.
Now. I'll wait while you tell him.
Okay.
Did you tell him?
Uh-huh.
I couldn't hear you say a word, so tell him so I can hear it.
Oh, you're going to have to be quiet. You can't say anything. I just told him.
All right. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to call to say that I agree with you. If a woman is going to put herself, like, she shouldn't be putting herself in that kind of a position. She shouldn't be putting the man in that kind of a position if she's not about to have sex with him. But if she does, and she says no, then he needs to get up and leave.
Oh, I believe me. Not only should he get up and leave, he should never call her or talk to her again.
Exactly.
Because that is somebody who is a big-time attention whore who's willing to take all kinds of risks to get attention. That's someone who will do anything to get attention.
Right, but the thing that I don't agree with is when you say that she's playing with fire.
She is playing with fire.
And that she's setting herself up.
Let me give you an analogy that I've used on the air before, but I'll use it with you, okay?
Okay.
Does anyone have the right to steal my car?
No.
Okay. I agree with you. No one has the right to do that. It's wrong. And anyone who steals my car should go to prison. Don't you agree?
Sure.
Okay, good. Now, let's say I get in my car and I drive it down to, let's say 102nd Street and Central Avenue. Somewhere down in South Central Los Angeles, and I park it at a 7-Eleven. Okay? And I go in to get a Slurpee. At midnight. So I drive my Lexus LS400 down to South Central Los Angeles, pull into the parking lot of the 7-Eleven, and leave the car door wide open with the engine running while I go inside to get a Slurpee. Now, do you think my car will be there when I get out?
Probably not.
Probably not. And so, obviously, people shouldn't steal my car because it's wrong and it's illegal, right?
Right.
But what does that make me if I leave my car with the engine running and the door open?
Well, you're leaving your car open.
Now, what does that make me? It makes me stupid, doesn't it?
Right.
Right? So even though it's illegal to steal my car, and even though it's morally wrong to do it as well, I'm an idiot if I do that. And I'm playing with fire. I'm asking for trouble. Right?
Right.
Okay. So if you take your panties off and expose your vagina to a man you don't want having sex with you, and he decides to try to have sex with you, he'd be doing something that's wrong and illegal, but you would be playing with fire. You'd be an idiot.
Well, the difference is...
The fact that it's wrong doesn't mean people aren't going to do it.
Okay, but let me just say something. Your car is a material object.
So are you. So are you.
Let me just finish.
So are you. You are a material object, and you are an object that people want to get their hands on, just like a car.
Right, but I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if the girl says no.
All right, so let's use your logic. I should have the right to park my car anywhere and leave the engine. I have the right to park my car anywhere and leave the engine running and go inside for hours at a time. I have a right to do that. And anybody who takes my car and gets caught will go to prison, as they should. But how stupid am I if I go around parking my car, leaving the door open and the key in and the engine running? How stupid am I?
I understand your point.
How stupid is a woman who is with a guy she doesn't want to have sex with to take her clothes off, spread her legs, say, here, give me a back rub. And then she says, okay, that's enough right there. Stop right there. Of course, when she says stop right there, he's supposed to stop. But how stupid is she for putting herself in that position, for putting herself in danger? She's stupid.
Well, I agree with you. If
she's playing with fire. Yes, she's playing with fire. Yes, she is.
But what my point is that...
You have no point.
Yes, she is stupid for doing that. But at the same time, the guy, if she says no...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what? This is all wonderful, dear. In the perfect world, on paper, this is all wonderful. But in the real world, if a man wants to rape you, and you take your clothes off and say, no, but no going past third base, I'm telling you, one day a guy is going to go past third base, and you won't be able to stop him. No matter what the law says, no matter what's right and wrong, you won't be able to stop him. You won't. So all the, you know what? Why don't you go down to the rape? Why don't you go down to the rape crisis center and explain to all the women that they had the right to say no, and see how much good that does them after they've been raped?
Well, what I'm saying is that you have a lot of power because you're on the radio, and for you to say that a woman is setting herself up.
She is setting herself up.
Well, you should be saying that.
Women are setting themselves up. You bet I've got power, and I'm trying to help women not get raped. And one way not to get raped is, if you're with a man you don't want to give it up to, don't take your clothes off, don't start yanking his crank, don't start getting physical with him, have a cup of coffee with him and say goodnight. Don't get him up into a lather. No, even though you have the right to do it, don't do it.
Under any circumstances.
And you, by talking about women's rights, are endangering women by encouraging them to. You know what? You're encouraging people to take a big ribeye steak to the LA Zoo and wave it in front of the lion's cage. Yeah, go right ahead and do it. You have a right to do it, and that lion has no right to bite your head off. Yeah, that's what you're encouraging women to do. And then you're trying to make me sound irresponsible. I'm trying to protect women. I'm trying to keep women from getting Mike Tyson. But no, you want to talk about women's rights. A woman has the right to take off all her clothes. A woman has the right to say, here, stick it in, and the guys ought to stick it in and go, no, don't do that. Yeah, of course you have the right to do it, but you'd be a complete idiot to do it. You are playing with fire if you do something like that. I'm not backing off what I said.
The only point that I have, Tom,
you don't have a point.
It doesn't matter what the circumstances, if she's fully dressed or if she's half naked. If she says no, he needs to get up.
I don't care what he needs to do. What happens if he doesn't?
Well, I mean, rape is about power. It's not about...
Yeah, but you know what? You have some amount of control. You can help prevent rape. One way to prevent rape is not to sexually stimulate a potential rapist.
I totally agree with you.
And that means if you're with a man who you don't want penetrating you, don't tempt him.
Don't lead him on.
Don't take your clothes off. Don't touch his Johnson. Don't just say good night. But no, you have these women who go, well, I have a right to let him go as far as I want, and then to say no right at the very end. Yeah, you go right ahead and exercise your rights, dear. You'll be at the Rape Crisis Center.
I agree with you.
Hang on a second. Carmen, what did you want to say to Lynn here?
What a dumb bee. I'm sorry. You know, it's like her that give intelligent women a bad name. You can't go waving yourself in front of...
Lead him on.
Don't take your clothes off. Don't touch his Johnson. Don't just say good night. But no, you have these women who go, well, I have a right to let him go as far as I want, and then to say no right at the very end. Yeah, you go right ahead and exercise your rights, dear. You'll be at the Rape Crisis Center.
I agree with you.
Hang on a second. Carmen, what did you want to say to Lynn here?
What a dumb bee. I'm sorry. You know, it's like her that give intelligent women a bad name. You can't go waving yourself in front of any man, especially when you don't know, and expect them to respect you. It doesn't work out that way. Take it from one who knows, honey. It doesn't work out that way.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
you're saying that the power to say no should be all-encompassing. Well, it's not. It's not.
Can I finish what I'm saying? Because
we know what you're saying. Yeah, tell your rapist. Tell your rapist. No means no, and that's going to do you a lot of good when he's raping.
I'll tell you how many times I screamed, while this ass was tying me to a wall. You know, come on. It doesn't work that way. This is not a perfect world. And women have to protect themselves.
Is that a woman doesn't set herself up to be raped.
Yes,
I mean, if she says no.
Yes, they do. I did.
Rape is not about sex. It's about power.
Oh,
and if she says no, can I finish talking? Because I heard your point.
You never finish talking.
You've been talking for 5 minutes. You've been saying the same thing, and you're wrong.
If she says no, then she needs to leave.
Point, men do not hear the word no. And I'm not saying I deserved what I got, but I'm telling you I asked
Carmen,
for it.
tell us what happened. Yeah, you said you asked for it. Tell us exactly what happened so Lynn can hear, if she'll give you the time to tell the story.
I was, just out of high school, and I went to another state to visit my father. And it was a warm day, and I hung out by the pool in my little tiny bikini and my perfect tan body. And, you know, I thought that I was in high school, and I thought that I was safe and that nothing could ever happen to me. Well, you know what? I flaunted my, you know, self just a little too much in front of men I didn't know. And I went back to one of their apartments with them, you know, just to listen to some music. And I said no. I said no more than once. I said no. And that didn't work out for me because I was naive. And I had worked him knowingly. I knew I was working him, but and I worked him past the point where he was going to, and I'm not saying, and I will say this over and over, I am not saying I deserved what I got. I'm not. I didn't. But I asked for it. I asked for it.
Did you hear that, Lynn?
I heard.
Now, do you think that your philosophy does any good in the real world? You know, what people should do is irrelevant. It's what they actually do that counts. For example, a dog shouldn't bite you. But if there's a pit bull and he's going, grrr, you obviously, as an American, have a right to put your hand right in front of his bare teeth. But he'll probably bite you. And you'd be sitting there going, but you know, a dog is not supposed to bite me. It's wrong. And you know, the owner can get in a lot of trouble. You know, how about just dealing with what the reality is?
Exactly. So I understand what the reality is.
No, but here you are. No means no. You know what? Those stupid slogans do not work on someone who's going to rape you. The best way to protect yourself from date rape is not to get somebody overly sexualized who you don't want to have sex with.
Well, I don't do that just out of self-respect.
Nobody should do that.
No, you're right. Out of self-respect.
And you shouldn't accept back rubs. You shouldn't be manually manipulating anybody.
Self-preservation.
You shouldn't do that out of self-respect.
I don't care if you have the right to do it. It's stupid. Women who do this are stupid.
Well,
stupid.
Amen, Tom.
Stupid.
Amen.
Stupid for doing it.
You know, Tom, I respect you for handling this issue the way you do.
You know, I'm being honest about it. All this feminist claptrap about no means no does you no good when you're there with your clothes off and he's about to stick it in and you go, I don't really feel like it. Now, granted, he's supposed to stop, but what makes you think he will?
He won't always.
Of course sometimes he will. Sometimes he will.
Protect yourself.
That's right.
By not putting yourself in situations like this.
Exactly. And sometimes he will stop. But you know what? Even if it's only 1 out of 100 times that he doesn't, how many times do you need to be raped to learn this lesson? Now, I know you already learned 1 time. That's it. I guess Lynn hasn't had that misfortune yet. But if she does any of this stuff,
God.
you
I would never put myself in that situation.
Anyone who does is playing with fire.
Ladies, you never get over it. You never get totally over something like that. Don't put yourself out there. Don't do it.
And I think that's good advice for all the women listening.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I banged my girlfriend in the A and she was passed out drunk.
That's terrible. You didn't get any enjoyment out of this, did you?
Oh, me? Oh, heavens no. Of course, I didn't take any pictures of that either.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis on Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. Judy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. How are you today, Tom?
Oh, do you care?
I sure do.
Doing great.
Basically, all I'm calling to say is, what planet is Lynn from, first of all? Second of all, every time that I've been in that situation, it's totally understood on my part what his intentions are, and it's totally just a thing for attention, I guess. It's nice to have the guy fawning over you, nice to get him all worked up, and I'll just usually go home and take care of myself afterwards. Not saying it's right, but a lot of times guys will say anything, and it's nice to get that kind of attention.
Guys are crazy to call you again after that. They're crazy. I have never called somebody after that. That's always been the very end right there.
Well, rightly so. I'm not saying it was right, but...
So you stopped doing it, or you were married?
Of course.
Now? You stopped. Why did you stop?
What's that?
Why did you stop doing it?
Well, it's still fun getting the guy worked up, but it's nice letting him have his way in the end.
And why not? I mean,
Yeah,
if he's not somebody you'd want to have sex with, why do all the other stuff? It doesn't make any sense.
Just maybe timing isn't right. Maybe it's something you just want to hold off on, and you just get in his apartment, and the lights are dim, and okay, well, we'll kiss a little bit, and okay, well, let him put his hand up my shirt, and then, I don't know, everything feels nice, and you don't want to stop, but then when you get to the point where you didn't want to get to, it's like, no, I don't want to do that, I don't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was definitely nice getting the attention, but, yeah, the follow-through is always nice, too.
Yeah, I'll bet it is.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Any guy who opens the door for a girl is just asking for trouble. You know what? I'd have no problem opening the door for a girl as long as she was polishing my knob when I was done.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Number is area code 310-842-9592. From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.